Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you are joining me from today. This is Growth Habits with Ngozi, and I'm your personal guide on the journey of growth. How are you doing? How is your day? Where are you joining me from? Please do let me know once you connect. Okay, so we've been on this journey. Truly, it has been a real journey on growth habits for a few sessions now. We are doing a series called it's just people telling their stories of growth, people explaining and in their own words how they grew in different aspects of their lives. We've had several guests, but this series started with me sharing my own story of growth, how I had to learn, how I had to relearn, unlearn some things, how I had to take from whatever looked like a problem, looked like a failure, and move forward with it, failing forward. So that was the basis of my own story. The next guest I had was Chinwendu Apia. Let me just confirm that I am audible. Just 1 minute. Because, sometimes you think you are being heard, but you're all by yourself. I cannot be all by myself, but let me just confirm and make sure that I can be heard. Okay, just a minute. Sometimes this our social media things. So I'm just trying to open Facebook on my laptop so that I can hear and know that I am audible. Okay. All right, finally it has opened, so let me check. Yeah, all right. Okay, so yes, I'm clearly audible. I have confirmed that I can be heard. So please, once you join me, just let me know where you're joining me from. Are you here in Nigeria with me, or you're somewhere else, another part of the world? Please do let me know. So I was giving us a quick recap of all the journeys we have been on in this Growth Chronicles series. The next person that came on was Chinwendu Apia. And she told her story, my God. She told her story and she made some points that till tomorrow, they still resonate with me. She says, one, there is always this call to come up higher when you're dealing with God specifically. And she talked about the fact that God will always meet you on the way. Most times, He doesn't give you the full story, the full blueprint at the beginning. He just gives you enough for you to get started. And once you get started, He will meet you on the way. He will meet you on the way. Okay, so the next person that came on was Helen Jo Atta. She's a lawyer, a Christian wife, mother, minister, a lot of things, founder of her academy. And I just want to say a few things that she mentioned that were, that stuck with me. She said that life is a journey and you must embrace the journey. It's not about rushing through life, getting to a destination. It's about the journey. Life is a journey. Learn to embrace that journey. And she said, start with what you have. Whatever is available with you, start with that first. Don't be looking for until everything is complete. Start with what you have. Our next guest was Tare Tito Ojoko. In fact, she blew up here. She everywhere was on fire when Tare was speaking. She's also a lawyer. So you see, we've had two lawyers, one after the other. She's also a lawyer, and she's a marriage counselor. I guess I can call her that. But most important, we call her the sex apostle. The apostle she is everything about sex in marriage, in the context of marriage. Very, very important. She has it covered. So she spoke to us, that was last week, and she said one thing. She said, run the race with urgency. That that thing that God has given you to do it with urgency. Don't think you have all the time in the world, because you truly don't. Run that journey, run that race with urgency. Even if you don't have the money, still start. Go ahead and start. Go ahead and start. Okay, yes, I've seen the quote. I was looking for this quote. She said, until your potentials are deployed, it's just useless. It's just passion, but the passion is not useful for anything. So you must deploy your potentials. Don't just sit and expect things to happen. Happen. You happen. Happen. Go ahead and happen. Okay. Do what needs to be done. And she said, prepare in advance for opportunities. Many of us, we truly don't prepare in advance for opportunities. We sit back and we expect opportunities to drop from heaven. And sometimes they actually do, truly. But now, when the opportunity drops from heaven, we are not ready, because we didn't prepare. We did not make ourselves ready. We did not put in place what needed to be put in place to ensure that when opportunity meets us, we are ready. Do that course, do that training, whatever is needed. Do it first and be ready. You know that when I hear people say, oh, I'm looking for a job, oh, I'm looking for this, oh, I need this, I don't have a business, I always ask, okay, what are you doing right now? What are you doing right now? In case that job you're looking for comes, are you ready for it? Are you truly ready for it? In case that business, somebody gives you money and says, okay, start this business, will you be able to put structure to the business? Or you just run it anyhow? So always prepare in advance. Prepare in advance. Do the course that needs to be done. Okay, so our guest for today is here. I'm going to quickly read her profile, and then I'll bring her on. I might as well bring her on while, yeah. Okay, our guest today is Constance. What happened? It's saying I can't bring you on, please. Okay, let me try and do it. Let me try and do it this way. Okay. Okay, I don't know, for some kind of technical reasons, I'm not able to bring her on. So, Constance, please try and join again in case if you have disconnected. So today, I'm still going to go and read her profile. Constance Agu is our guest. She's a productivity life coach, an author, and a certified trainer, a speaker and coach with the John Maxwell Team. You know, it's not easy to be on John Maxwell Team. It is not easy. It's not everybody that's accepted into that team. Okay. So she's a chartered secretary and administrator of ICSA London, UK. A member of the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ICSA. And so she doesn't just belong to the Nigerian Chartered Institute of Administrators, she also belongs to the UK Institute. Okay, I think I can see her again. Let me see. All right. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know why it's not allowing me to bring you on. What's happening? What are the technical issues why I can't bring her on? Okay, let me keep on reading her profile while we sort out whatever technical issues Facebook claims they are having. I really don't know what the issues are, but they said due to some technical issues, I can't bring her on. Okay, let me invite. It's still just the same one I'm seeing. Okay, Okay, she said let her go out and come back in. I'm just checking it whether it's also my own network. All right, so let me finish her profile. I mentioned she's a member of the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators, a graduate of Rhema Bible Institute, affiliated to Kenneth E. Hagin. Currently, she's working and has over 15 years working experience in administration in a Fortune 500 organization. I don't know if we know what is a Fortune 500 organization. It is an internationally recognized company that is doing well. It's not just a company that exists internationally, it's actually doing very well internationally. That is, and it's about this amongst the 500, is it best I want to say, or yeah, 500, if you count 500 companies in the whole world that are doing well, that are well established and all that, this company is amongst them. And she's in the management cadre, where she manages over 150 personnel and vendors, providing management and administrative support. Can you see? So you can see that this person is not your average. No. In order to share her wealth of knowledge, she birthed Grow You Academy, an online school designed to meet both leadership, personal and career growth for individuals and SMEs to foster productivity. She currently runs the 21st Century Administrative Assistant course for fresh graduates, those who want to switch careers and others who want to improve their career. So in case you're interested in that, please reach out to her. Once we are done in this session, reach out to her and join that her 21st Century Administrative Assistant course. I think I joined this course when she started it, if I can remember very well, and I introduced some people to it too. So please go ahead and join it. It will be worth your while. She currently runs the 20. Okay, I've read that. She has trained thousands of individuals and run training programs for organizations, including NGOs, lectured in leadership and entrepreneurship faculty on fundamentals of leadership. She's the CEO of ECTOP Consulting Services that provides consulting services and trainings for SMEs and corporate organizations. Have you noticed how many hats she's wearing? She's not wearing just one hat. If you look, you will see that she's wearing several hats and she's wearing them well. She's doing several things and she's doing them well. I can testify she's somebody I know very well. And she has an amazing, multi-talented Jesus son. She loves to eat veggies, traveling and studying. See this veggies thing. I'm telling you, she loves veggies. I can say that for a fact. And she's always harassing our lives with pictures of her veggies as she's eating it. So she loves to eat veggies. Very active, does her exercises. In fact, she's the full picture. Everything is complete. Everything is complete. I wish, okay, the picture she gave me did not show her standing. Maybe if she had seen her standing, so that she's the full package. So our guest today is Constance Agu. Let me see if she's back. And she, okay, doesn't look like she's back. Okay. For some reason, she's not still back on the live, so that I can add her up to share her experiences. No, this series on Growth Chronicles has really been, I don't want to say life change, because we hear this word life, or this phrase life changing, so many times, and I think it's becoming almost part of our vocabulary. Okay, you're here. Okay, request to be on the live. Constance, request to be on the live. Instead of me trying to add you, you request to be on the live. And let me see if that will work. Because for some reason, I'm not even seeing you to add you here. So request to be on the live. Okay, so I was saying that this series on Growth Chronicles has really touched a lot of things for me personally. I don't know about any other person, but for me personally, as I've listened to people's stories, as I've listened to them tell their story of how they grew in different areas, if you have been following this series, you'll see that no two-person story has been the same so far. But even though no two stories have been the same, the general point linking them all is that each person, even in the midst of difficulties or whatever, chose to grow. They did not sit back and allow life happen to them. They chose to grow. They made up their minds to grow. All the people that have come, even from the first Chinwendu, that while she had God gave her a vision of what to do for young girls, she was living in a classroom. Living in a classroom. She had no accommodation. She had nowhere to stay. Her things, everything was in one classroom. And it's from that place, from that place that she went ahead and started the program. She didn't wait. Which one declined? And I don't even know which one I'm adding now. Constance, it says you declined to join, so I don't know. It's saying declined. So, okay, let me try this again. It's saying declined, so I don't know why it's declining. Uncle Mark, please help us. Oh, praise the Lord, it has worked. Yes. Are you seeing? Just look first. Just behold. You see that full, complete package. Nothing missing. Nothing missing. So welcome, Constance. I'm so glad to have you here today. In fact, I am excited. I'm excited to hear your story. I know some parts of it, but there's always a bit that will be new as you're telling it today. So welcome to Growth Habits with Ngozi, and welcome to this series on Growth Chronicles. I'm just going to go ahead and give you the floor. Tell us your story of growth, whatever aspect of growth you want to, of your life story you want to tell us. Just go ahead and tell us your story of growth. I will be taking notes and I will come in intermittently with comments or any questions. All right, Constance, over to you.
Thank you so much, Antingo. Thank you so much. Thank you, our viewers. Thank you so much for making out time to be here at this point in time. It's actually lunch period. In fact, I didn't even know it was lunch period. I was looking at 6 p.m. in the evening. I didn't know it was lunch period. But it's okay. It's fine. At least they are not around, so I'm alone in my office and can be able to roll. So without wasting much time, because we've actually taken like 18 minutes, she has already introduced me. I don't even know which aspect of my growth journey that I want to share, because it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. For those of us coming from a humble background, they now call it, we now paint it name, give it a fine name, humble beginning. That's where I am coming from. I am that girl that is the first out of 8 children. I am the one that is the number one out of 8 of us, boys and girls. So my administrative things did not start today. It started from childhood, where I need to take care of my younger ones, where I need to take care of my mom, giving birth almost every other year and all the rest. So but to cut the long story short, it got to a point in my life where I just knew I needed something better. I just felt I deserved something better. I just felt I was no longer happy with where I found myself. Growing up was not easy at all. So for that, I told myself that I will be the last person to remain with what I have just seen. You know, there are some people who grow up in a certain community and they don't, that hunger will not come. They didn't hunger for change. But mine was different because I kept asking my dad, why are we where we are? And I kept asking my dad, why are we not where these people are? You know, I gave him some instances. He said, don't worry, when you grow up, you will know. But the only thing I'll tell you is read your book. That was the only thing my dad was telling us. Make sure you read your book, oh, make sure you read your book, oh. So, and I said, okay, I think it's in reading book that the solution is. And that was how I picked interest. And because I was hungry, I was hungry, that hunger was as a result of me feeling uncomfortable where I found myself then. So for me, growth journey starts from being hungry. When you hunger for a change, and that hunger for a change is as a result of you not liking where you are anymore. You're now unhappy, you're feeling frustrated, you just want to be out of that, you know, level of life. And that was how it started for me. My mom was a petty trader, my dad was a technician, and you know, we just managed. And after my secondary school, there was no way to go to university, and I told my, because I was already hungry for a change, because my dad has been sounding it in our ears, make sure you go to school. Now it is university time, nobody to train anybody. No, my uncle, I passed my JAMB and I went miles away to go and look for him to assist, and at the end of the day I was disappointed. But I just came back and I told myself, no, I have to do something. You know, depending on where you find yourself, you want to think, you will not engage your thinking faculty. You will know the level of capacity God has given to you to be able to think, to find a solution, depending on what is chasing you. I was just giving my son an instance a few days ago that if he stands and sees a cock running towards him with speed, will he run away? He said, no, why would he run? He said, no, just foul. That was what he used, the word he used. I said, but if you see a lion coming with speed towards the same direction to you, what will you do? He said, you will jump the fence. I said, good. So depending on what is chasing you, because he's about to write WAEC. So something was chasing me and I was running away from it to get to where I should get to a safe place. So I now had to start, you know, doing some, I did a lot of things. I did a lot of buying and selling, you know, just to meet up. I knew how to make hairs and knew how to do nails. As in, nobody taught me. In fact, it was the Holy Spirit that taught me, because, and I was doing it so well that I was even looking for people to join in the team to be getting the money. So at the end of the day, I was able to save for my university, and off I went. I trained myself through the period of my university. And while I was there, I was still hungry. I said, no, I want to finish and be able to get a job. Because I went to part-time. I couldn't go full-time because I was the one taking care of myself. I was the one schooling and paying my bills. So I now told myself that I have to get something better as soon as I'm finishing. Lo and behold, when I finished, okay, before I finished, while I was waiting for JAMB and all the rest, I had to enroll in a computer class, because I heard that computer is a new gold mine and all the rest. If you have to get a job, you have to learn computer appreciation. So with the little money I've gathered from my small businesses, petty trading, I fried akara, I hawked, I roasted corn during school holiday. Once I come back from after school period, I will just rush to my own market. I will buy corn, I will roast. You know, I did a lot of things to make money. So I gathered the money and I went to register for computer appreciation. Did it for 6 months. I did so well. You know, when you're hungry, you want to place value on every opportunity you get. You want to utilize it very well. So I was the best student in that academy for that 6 months. And once an opportunity just came, I was called. Our instructor called me. After I finished, I was retained for 1 month because I've already finished, and they said I should stay and be helping. And I was willing to stay because I'm learning. So within that period, an opportunity came and I was assigned, and the money for me was big, 1,500 naira. But by the time I calculated my transportation to and from Antingo, I only had 200 naira left without food. Do you understand? So I'll make sure I eat in the morning and go to my work from the house, and nothing else, probably highest water, and then when I come back. And the reason why I accepted that job, because our youths these days, they will get a job and they will say their excuse will be the salary is not enough. It will not, it will go nowhere. So for that, they will not. No. That's a mistake that most of them are making this period. But I had to take it because there were lots of office management equipment in that. It's a business and a very big business center. There was, that time we used to make telephone calls for people. People come to pay. You now make telephone calls. There's a telephone there, and I didn't know how to do it. If I tell you my experience there, you will laugh. Hey, that was the dreadest thing I didn't want to touch as I got there. Started working the first week. I said, no. Everybody will know that I don't know how to do this thing. I was so afraid. But finally, I got to know how to do it. I got to use fax machine. I got to learn how to use what's it called? Lamination machine, interactive photocopier. All manner of equipment. I learned. That was the foundation to every other thing that has to do with office. So I did that job for 1 year. As I was finishing, as I was on it, a bigger job came for 4,500 naira. I switched and I was very happy. So I got a green. For me, it was a green light that I will be able to finish my university. So my admission came. I paid everything I needed to pay, and I was still schooling and going to that work. But somehow the job finished, and they had to move to Ota. They said except I will move with them to Ota, but I declined it because I was already in UST, studying. And while I was there, I was, still my year 1, year 2 school fee was paid, but year 3 and year 4, I couldn't pay. I was owing till I was almost graduating before I got another job that they paid me 33,000 naira, and I was just, the whole house did not sleep. No, we started a song, maybe 13, now 13, maybe 13. That 33,000 naira was like one big thing. I don't want to go into details of what. The whole family can understand where I'm coming from. Do you understand? So when people see me like this today, they in their minds, I was just dropped. I wasn't just dropped. It has taken a long journey. So, and that was where I was. And now told myself while I was in university, a lecturer made a comment. By the way, I read Secretary Administration. Because anything that has to do with organizing, planning, taking care of, I just love it. So while I was there, I was thinking in my head, okay, I've gotten this job of 3,000 naira. There should be more. Those people that are managers, those people that are MDs, those people that own companies, how did they get there? What did they do to get there? So I started inquiring in my spirit. I started asking. I started, any book I see I want to read, any somebody I see, I'll be wondering, what are they doing in this kind of office? That curiosity. So first of all, you have to be hungry. Then secondly, you have to be curious. So I became very curious of my environment that I wasn't curious before. I became very curious about everything. I want to read anything I see that it has to do with paper or book. I see maybe a document like this and it's an Excel sheet, and I'm trying to figure out how they did it. The next thing I will jump onto computer, I want to try it to see, that curiosity. So one day our lecturer was teaching, and he mentioned ICSA and ICSAN. So we're like, what does it mean? He said, Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators, if we want to go from this level of just finishing our university and just start working with that, you earn more, and to give you a more exposure. You can work anywhere in the world with the one for Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators, UK, and then the other one is just within Nigeria. My dear, my antenna just stood like this. I say, Father, I thank you. I am getting there. I was so excited. And guess what? They will be paying in pounds. So I doubled up my hustle, doing so many other things, small things. I was saving money. I saved, I'll go and change it to pounds and save it. I went to business center. I found out their website. I registered. I started paying. So my 4th year in the university, I started writing ICSA. This one now, Mama no teach you, Papa no teach you. They don't even know. They don't know now. So because I was hungry and I was curious, I have to know for myself. Not these days that we want to know for our kids. We want to guide them, we want to push them, we want to teach them, we want to train them, we want to tell them. back in my days, nobody was telling us anything. I just did what I had to do because I didn't like where I was, and I don't want to be there sometime in the future. So the hunger set in, the curiosity started. So once he mentioned it, I took action, and I started writing the exam. I wrote that exam. I just started writing it just after I finished university, and at the end of the day, I now got that job of 33,000 that we were not able to sleep. So that boosted my confidence that I will be able to finish that ICSA, because it's in 4 levels, 4 modules, and each module has 4 subjects that you need to pass. So 4, 8, 12 subjects, and because I was already a second admin student, so they exempted some subjects in the first module, and I did only 2 out of the first, and then the rest I completed over the years. My dear sisters, it was a bit easy until I got to financial management for corporate financial management. That one showed me pepper. That one showed me way. Oh, Father Lord, I will never forget the experience. And anything that will have to do with a calculation again, Holy Ghost, me, I'm not going. Corporate finance, hey, God. I don't sleep at night because I'm studying, I'm trying to calculate. God bless one of my friends, Stanley, is a family friend. That guy really helped me. I'll call Stanley at the midnight, in midnight, English language. Is it at midnight? At midnight, I'll call Stanley. Stanley will pick, and Stanley, I will read out the questions. Stanley will guide me through, and I will solve, and I will get it at the end of the day. That was what I was doing. I went and printed 10 years question backwards. Now check the pattern. See, auntie, if you're hungry and if you're curious, there's nothing you will not get. Do you understand? So, somebody told me, print 10 years back, 10 years from backwards to the day. I printed and I checked the pattern of questions, and I saw that 2 questions repeat every other 3 years. I say, let me say this year, these 2 questions will repeat. So I fired down on those 2 questions, and then other ones that I read. And that was it. And those 2 questions came out. Those 2 questions were 40 marks. So I still need 120 marks to make it 60, and then the objectives, that was how I passed that after failing it twice, the 3rd time. And that 3rd time was the last time I was supposed to write it, because they were trying to add what they call corporate secretaryship case study wanting strategy. They want to add it. If all the people that started in a certain year, if they don't finish that period, by the following year, instead of you to write 1, you will now write 2. I said, I'm struggling with this one. So at the end of the day, I just prayed to God. I said, God, help me. Then I was married. I think I've had my son. And my husband, sometimes I will be reading and I'll be crying. I say, who sent me? I beg, this is just only this one. Only this one. I will be crying. Better cry like this. And I remember I will be crying. Yet, I will still go back to my books to read, because I didn't want to hear that there is another subject added to what I'm struggling with, which means another pound, and the price kept increasing. So God helped me. I passed it. Then I was now working. Then my salary has moved, because my company knew I was writing the exam. So the expert I was working with, who was my manager at that period, was very supportive too. So when I passed it, I told him. He was very happy with me. So because there was a company I am eyeing, which is where I am right now, which is where I'm working right now, I knew that, having a knowledge of their language, speaking their language, would be an added advantage. So while I was working where I was working, I went and registered for French classes, did my A1, did my ADO, got my certificate. I was speaking French already before I came in. So lo and behold, during our graduation, I had to travel to UK, and we did all that we needed to do. On my way back at the airport, that my boss, then he has left. In fact, yes, he left. He called me. He said he didn't. No, yes, he left. He joined another company still in Nigeria. So he called me. He said, there is an opening where I am right now, that if I am interested. I said, John Philip, isn't what you're asking me if I'm interested? I thought I told you this before. Please, I am interested. He said, okay, send all your details, send your. I was so happy. Immediately I came back. I didn't even wait till the next morning. I think it was around 11 p.m. in the night that I sent that. I sent my CV and my certificate showing that I am qualified, And 2 days after, I was called for interview, and here I am today. So my salary rose, went from 1.5 my first salary to 4.5 to 33,000 to somewhere around 80 something thousand before I joined here, which I cannot mention, my people. So
Yes.
so so I was curious, I was hungry, I was curious. I began to take action. So when I started working here, I just told myself that, becoming a charter secretary and administrator UK is not just enough. I was still hungry. I said it's not enough because we grow. For any time we'll stop reading, we'll start dying. Once we stop reading, we'll start dying. So I just told myself at a point after 2 3 years, I said, charter secretary and administrator here, so it's not enough. I need something else. I was ready to speak to people. I like anybody. I just noticed that anybody I see around, I want to tell the person how I grew from where I was to where I am right now. I want to tell you what to do. Why don't you do it this way? You didn't pay me. You didn't pay. I will just be talking. I will just want to follow you up. I want to teach you once you're ready to give me audience. So I now say, okay, I can take this thing a little bit more. Because my husband was a pastor then, before he passed on. So I now had a platform where I can be teaching young ones. So that further boosted my interest in talking to people, and I started, I opened a Facebook page, and even though the main Facebook pages that I had, Facebook blocked it, and so after some time it disappeared even. So all the things I built in that page, everything just got lost. I started building fresh ones now. So that gave me a platform, and I told myself, I think it will be wise for me to go to Bible school. Let me know. I'm a bit, up this way. So the Bible school is God, or knowing God is here. Maybe my career is here like this. So can I just up it a bit? So I went to Rema Bible Training Institute for 2 years, and I got certification. So some things made more sense, and I saw the spiritual aspect of what we do. The power of the spiritual aspect, inculcating it in what we do, because whether we like it or yes, the spiritual controls the physical. That is the truth of the matter. So I had to go into that, and now what I got from there, actually, it was super duper. I can't even explain. That one is another story of its own that I don't want to go into. So while I was finishing that one, I registered for John Maxwell. How did I hear about John Maxwell? I think it was in the Modern Women inner circle, Modern Women group.
Okay.
Yeah, Mrs. Kate on Nakomoya came to. Was one of the conference speakers, and she spoke about John Maxwell getting certified as the John Maxwell Team. That is the leadership and personal growth. And then I just caught it, and that was it. I jumped onto it. I started making inquiry. Went to the website, my dear. How much dollar? That time, the dollar was I think 3,000, 4,000 something, dollars that time. I was 20. This is 2024, maybe 2019, 2020, no 2019, because it was 2020 that we did our graduation. I think 2018, 2019, 4,000 something dollars then. I don't know how much it is now. So it's as if I am on another platform at work where I can be able to gather the money I need. Because for me, where I'm working right now is a basis, is a foundation, is a first generation no, it's not even a first generation business. For me, it's just a foundation. It's a place I found myself to build upon whatever thing I need to do. So I took advantage of it. I started paying. There's an instrumental payment which I did 3 times and completed the payment, and I became certified as a John Maxwell speaker, trainer, and coach. And I can tell you the resources from there. I don't even know how to explain it, but the only challenge I am having is because of my full-time work that I have to dedicate to, and then giving time to other things that I need to do is not giving that. It can't be the same because most of my time I am here. So, and that's why I don't joke with my break period. I don't joke with my evenings. I do a lot of other stuff. So, and because I want to become more, I was hungry. I became curious. I took action on the things that I need to take action. As I heard about John Maxwell, I registered. I heard about ICSA, I registered. I wanted more on the spiritual aspect. I made inquiries. I registered. See, you need to get to that point where it is all about you, but whatever content you put on your inside is more important than the container, which is you.
Yeah.
Whatever content you put on your inside is more important than your physical look. So I started taking action, going into this, going into that. Now, as I was, you get to a point, if you're growing, the way you will know that you are growing, you get to a point where you just know that you need to begin to share your knowledge. So I got to that point where I just need to, because when you see even somebody that you don't know, any slightest conversation, Piam, you will dabble into teaching the person, talking to the person, telling the person, which means you're full to the extent where you need to impact your world.
Yes, you need to begin to blow it out.
Exactly. So, and I had to, I did several stuff. There was one I was calling Heart Matters then, and finally I left that one. I'm on Grow You right now. I'm the CEO of Edge Top Consulting for corporate companies. I have trained some staff in some corporate companies. Sometimes I go to Abuja and I'm scheduled, and I will train them, and I'll come back. And because of my wealth of experience in administration, and I had to create this present course, the 21st Century Administrative training course for secretaries, executive assistants, for office assistants, and all the rest. Once you find yourself in admin, I also, the Grow You Academy is for personal growth and leadership talks and all the rest. So, so far, that's how I have come to become, and I'm still committed, consistently growing. I have not finished it, because right now, as you're seeing me here, seated down here right now, and think I've not told people in the group, I am on my way to PhD.
Oh.
Yes. So, and that's where I am right now. Mama is aware. Mama is aware. So I'm writing my exams. I don't know, maybe after now, I don't know what else, because I'm not tired of, I like to read. You know what it does? See, reading or studying helps you stay younger than your age, because you think in a certain way, you take action in a certain way, you eat food in a certain way, because your container needs to stay healthy to be able to contain the content on your inside that the world needs.
Yeah. Yes.
Anybody watching me right now, you're not standing alone. There is something on your inside that God has deposited, which means there are people behind you that God is asking you to reach out to via what you know. It could be via your work experience, your business experience, your trainings, whatever it is that you have been called to do. People are waiting behind you. And if you don't start doing yours, other people that are waiting behind you may not find their ways, may not find their way, may not stand on the pedestrian where they should be. So that's it for me.
Wow. Thank you so much, Constance. So
Thank
there's
you.
one thing you kept saying. You said it separately, and it is so key for us. It's not enough to be hungry. It's not enough to be curious. Take action. Take action. There are many people I see in the process of talking to, especially the younger generation, and they are full of ideas. They are full of inspiration. They're actually hungry for something more. They're actually hungry to impact their generation, but they're not taking any action. They're sitting back and waiting for the action to, drop from somewhere. They're waiting for, I don't know, maybe somebody to take the action for them. I don't really know what, is going through some of their minds. But it is essential, even as you're curious, even as, there is this fire, this hunger burning in your spirit, you do have to take action. Nobody is going to take the action for you.
You do
You
nothing,
have to take
nothing
action.
happens.
Yes.
You do
You
nothing, nothing
have to
happens.
take.
This is a biro. If you drop it
Mhm.
on your table, drop your book on your table. Write down the actions you want to take, drop it on that table. And you don't go back there to pick out one and start doing something. See this paper and biro? It will remain there for
Yeah.
the number of years or
Yes.
months or weeks.
Yes. For sure. So to take action, even as you're, curious. She said another thing, said be uncomfortable with the status quo. She was never comfortable with wherever she was at each point in time. There was always the need to move forward. There was always the need, there must be an improvement. This can't be
Hmm.
all there is.
Hmm.
Many of
It can
us,
be.
we are too comfortable. Even when things are good, we are just okay with it. There's always more.
There's
There is
always more.
always more. You
There's
can
always
do just
more.
a little bit better.
If there's
Just
no
make up
And
your
single,
mind.
yeah, if there's no more, why do we wake up each morning? Why do you ask yourself, okay, why did you wake up this morning? Why did you open your
Mm,
eyes? Why are you
mhm.
able to talk, speak, see, think normal, walk? It's because there is an action for you to take. There
There's
is more
something.
for you
Yeah.
to do. Do you
Mhm.
understand? So I frown at people who just wake up in the morning and they don't have one thing that they want to achieve for that day. Personal growth
Yeah.
is adding 1% value to yourself or to your business or to your family daily. Just 1% out of the whole 100%. 1%
Mhm.
value. That's what personal growth is or personal development
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And there's another thing you did that resonated with something that Tarek also said. She said, be prepared for the opportunity. Don't just,
Let me
you
let me
said
mention
you took
something
French
there.
courses before ever you worked where you needed it. Before ever they even mentioned, they've not even thought of employing as at the
Mm-hmm.
time you took the
Exactly.
courses. But you
Mm.
took French courses in preparation. You were ready for the opportunity so that whenever it comes, it will not miss you.
Somebody
But
was
many
asking me.
times, yeah,
Somebody was
you
asking
said somebody
me,
was. Mhm.
why are you? I mean, you're working here, so why are you going to disturb yourself? You should be looking for money. No, why are you disturbing yourself going to go and do PhD? I mean, why? It's not waste of resources and energy. I say, Oga, you don't understand. If you know where I'm going to, I may not know what I need it for right now, but
Mhm.
I'm preparing for an opportunity tomorrow. What if I
Yeah,
am made the Minister of Transport and Logistics? What if I am made the Minister of this? Well, I started mentioning. I said, what if that opportunity comes and I don't have the qualification
you can have
to
it.
back it
Yes,
up? And it will just slide just like that. He said, you
that
have a
is,
point there. I said,
yeah.
that's it.
Always be prepared. Always be prepared for no opportunity should meet you unprepared.
Mm.
I remember you also said something about not taking jobs because you think the money is small. I think I told this story, was it last week or week before? One of the companies I worked for, if I tell you how much they were paying me with all my FCA, fellow chartered accountant, and all if I tell you how much, it was peanuts. But why did I take that job? Because I looked at the operations of this company and I saw that they use some tools that I've never used in all my years
Exactly.
of working. I saw that
Exactly.
there's a way they do things that I've not been exposed to. I quickly jumped at it, honestly. People berated me, people shouted. If my husband was a little unhappy with me because it meant that now, of course, now I didn't have as much money at my disposal as I used to. So I had
Mm.
to lean on him a little bit more for that period.
Mm.
But in the end, he saw why I took it. He understood why I took that
Mm.
job. I needed to learn those things. I needed
Mm.
to know those things. I don't know when I'm
Yeah.
not saying it for anything at the moment. I'm actually not. But no information is lost. No
Mm-mm.
knowledge is
Mm-mm.
waste. There is no knowledge that is wasted. One day I will stand somewhere and the things I learned in that company will be what saves me.
Exactly. Because even I think
What
even what
is
you're
the
building right
difference?
now, even with
Mm,
what you're building right now, a time will come probably when you want to have maybe a huge online school or a physical building for what you do. And that is when those software knowledge will begin to come into play.
Yeah. True.
So like
True.
the ones I did, if I had refused that 1,500 naira job then, with those plenty massive office equipment to learn from, I would have struggled down the line. Probably I wouldn't have even gotten the second opportunity, because these things are sometimes they are spiritually orchestrated. So it depends on your willingness to yield to that prompt rather than refusing it. So it pays. It pays. No knowledge is a waste. No, anywhere you find yourself, I'm curious to know. If anywhere you find yourself, you're working, check very well. There's something, you have a call. You have a call. There is a call for you in there. There's something you need to take out from there and start your own or begin to help people.
Yes, very, very true. Very, very true. I always tell people that every place you work, by the time you're living there, because I believe everything has a beginning and end, by the time you're living there, it should be that when people, the people who you leave behind should remember you. One.
Exactly. Yeah.
You should never leave a place and people will not remember you. For good, though, not bad. Now, for good. People should remember you fondly. If you ever have a reason to go back for anything to that place, from the gate, unless they've changed every single person, from the gate, people should remember you for good. The day I went back to the first place I worked, the first place I worked, I went back there because I wanted my son to do his youth service there, just because I just needed somewhere. It's not even as if that place really was that relevant, but I needed him to. From the gate, I didn't even realize that some of the gate men would still be there. Honestly, I didn't expect that. From the gate, Madam Accountant, because that's what they used to call me in that place. Madam Accountant. Even some of the faces I didn't recognize. But Madam Accountant. By the time I got to the MD, he didn't even waste time. He employed my son.
Wow.
So ensure that any place you are working, even with that wicked boss, even with those fellow co-workers that you think are always planning against you, impact them for good. It is possible. It's very possible and very doable. Don't ever leave a place and when you go back there, people can't fondly remember you. They can't pinpoint even one thing that you did in that place. No. You've wasted those years you were there.
Yeah.
Don't ever waste. Yes, you even mentioned it. Don't waste any opportunity. You said place value on every opportunity you get. Those were your words. Place value on every opportunity, no matter how small it looks. Place value on it. And as you place value on that opportunity, the way you do whatever you'll be doing there will be different.
Yeah,
For sure.
exactly.
Once you place a value on it, the way you walk, the way you relate, the way you take what people say to you will be different. It will be different. So place a value on every opportunity you get. And honestly, milk it to the
I'm telling you,
Milk
no matter
everything.
no matter the workload. At the point before I got in here, the workload where I was in fact, as I left, they had to employ 3 people to man that one position. They had to segment it 3 people. That was what they employed. So for me then, I knew it was time for me to leave. So and because of my kind of personality, I hardly complain. For me, every opportunity I see, there is something in it for me to grab. So I just head on. I was just doing what I needed to do, even though the workload was increasing massively. So when I now came in here, the first 3 months it was as if these people are playing here. Me, I'm too. There's nothing happening here. I went and met our GM. I said, "So I don't think I'm optimally functioning here. Is there no more?" Because of where I was coming from. But today I cannot go and meet any GM anywhere. Say, give me more because my hands are heavily full. They say more work given to you means you're doing well in the ones that they have given to you. But you're not doing well in the ones they've given to you, they won't give you more work.
That's true.
So that's the thing.
That's very true. They will not. They will not. Yeah. So we've had, in fact, a great discussion, a great conversation with Constance today. Takeaways: always be hungry for more. Never
Yeah.
be comfortable. We've said this several in this program.
Mm.
Nothing goes in your comfort zone, so don't bother.
Nothing,
Don't
nothing,
bother
nothing,
staying
nothing.
there. Don't bother. If you're just a little discomfort, it doesn't last. She mentioned she was writing exams, and I think I've also shared this. When I wrote, one of the times I wrote my ICAN exams, I went to the hall with my 1 month old baby. And I would run at first, when I took the first paper, I breastfed him, ran upstairs, wrote my paper quickly before they said Jack Robinson, hands up, dropped pen, ran back down, breastfed my baby. As I was breastfeeding, I was glancing through the next paper I had to write. Just the discomfort will not last forever.
It's only
It's
temporal.
temporary. It's temporary. It will never last forever. Before you know it is over and you're enjoying the fruits of it. But I
Yes.
find a lot of people are not ready to put themselves through any discomfort anymore. But it is so necessary. Be uncomfortable with the status quo. Don't accept it. Don't accept it. Don't say it's because my parents know. No, it's not because your
Your
parents
parents are
anything.
not, they're not owing you anything, except you just want to relax and do nothing about your life, or you don't have an ambition or a vision of where you're going to. If I had
Yeah,
waited for my parents, I won't be where I am today,
you
because
won't.
they only operated based on the level of understanding they had, and
Exactly.
they advised
Exactly.
based on the understanding they had. So I mean, I'm happy that I had a father that even told me, go to school or go to school. That was all.
Yeah.
That was all he offered. He didn't give me any money to go to that same school. But I had to now find a way to go to that school, because God
Yeah.
has given us hands, He has given us legs, and we can see we are okay. There are so many things we can do with our hands aside our brains. So it's just
Yeah.
for at any level you find yourself, do something. There's something you can do. Give it a thinking
Exactly.
process, and you will see things. Ideas will just flow.
Exactly. Yes. You see the brain, use it. We are not using our brain to capacity. I don't even think we ever can use the full capacity of our brain. But let's try. Let's even use
Telling
the
you.
little. Many of us, we are not thinking, we just sit back. I mean, you sit in your house from morning till night watching one thing or the other. That is not using your brain, unless what you're watching is educational, you're learning something from
You're
it.
learning
But if
something,
you're
yeah.
not learning from it, please drop it. Just this morning, there's this game I play, it's a crossword. That is mostly, I play games that either crosswords or that will make me think of the solution. I don't play all these games of rubbish. So there's this crossword I've run up a long streak on it. Every day I sign in, I solve all the crossword puzzles. And yesterday I was just too tired. I wasn't feeling okay, so I did not touch that crossword. As I woke up this morning, what came to me? Oh, you've lost your streak. I sat back. I said, nope. Maybe I was learning something but from this crossword, but for the first thought to come into my head this morning is this crossword. I'm deleting it. I am deleting it, and I deleted it from my phone. No, I have to. The things that occupy me have to be things that are bringing value. So the things that are
Yeah.
bringing value,
Yeah.
that's what's occupying my
Bringing
thoughts.
value, bringing
Crossword,
more
yeah,
money.
crossword. Yes, crossword, yes, it helps me ease the pressure. But now it's taking the position of the things that should bring value. It's no longer just easing pressure because I'm thinking crossword of my streak. No, I deleted it immediately from the phone. Such things I don't waste time. I don't waste time. I don't have
That
time
that is that
for.
is one that's one way now you have added 1% value to you by deleting that,
Yes,
because it has
yes,
now moved from just easing yourself, of pressure, to now want
yeah,
to be a habit that will take away
yes.
time for other valuable
For
things.
something else, exactly. So I quickly deleted it. There was a time I deleted every single game on my phone. I deleted Facebook at the point. I won't lie. I deleted Facebook, yes, everything. Because for me, once something begins to be that super important, and yet it's not really acting as much value as I think. I don't waste time, because if I wait till tomorrow, I won't delete it. If I can wait for 5 minutes, it remains. So that day I woke up that morning, I was like, Facebook is wasting my time. Instagram, I deleted every single one of those apps. Then what's the word I want to use now? As I gained mastery over each one, I put it back on the phone. Now I can put my Facebook when I want, WhatsApp when I want, Instagram when I want. I will not balance on that app doing nothing. No. So once I gain mastery over it, I put it back. By the time I gain mastery over this crossword, I'll put back that crossword and I'll do it at my pace, not this one that is controlling me. Yeah, so please, let's do the needful. It is so important. Life has no duplicate, and time is not as plentiful as we think.
Exactly.
It is a limited resource. We don't realize it sometimes. It is a limited resource. Make the best use of it.
Let's continue to read. Let's continue to read. You know, reading is different from studying. Studying is deeper. But at least reading, let's continue to get a book for yourself that you can read one book every month. You know, when I lost my husband, it's as if I lost everything. I lost interest in so many things. You know, I just stayed off for nearly 2 years or so. Then that period, when I tried to read, my head would be so heavy and painful. But one of the reasons why I know that at least I've gotten to a particular point where I can say I am fully okay is now I can read my books like before. In fact, today I have placed order for 2 books that is coming on Friday. You understand? And so, and let's join groups that can help us grow. Join groups, meaningful groups that can help you grow. Because sometimes staying on your own, you may not be able to do it alone. Sometimes we need push. Sometimes we need accountability partner that will help, that will be accountable to. You know, get a mentor if you need to get a coach if you need to get. But most importantly, that one you can do for yourself, that nobody should be chasing you all around. A book, read one every month. Could be book on finances, depending on where your interest is. Me, my interest is on leadership and personal growth. Those are the kind of books I read. John Maxwell books and any other kind of, So get books because it helps you stand out. In fact, there is no subject matter that you will bring that you cannot contribute to an extent, except like me now. If you bring a subject matter that has to do with politics, me, I'm not interested. I don't even know my left or my right in there. But I'm trying now to learn just a bit about it. But any other thing, I can be able to, not the one that, and this is the reason why when we go to occasions, when we go to conferences, you came on time. You came on time. You're there before time. So what are you doing at the back? Why do you want to sit at the back or at the third row? Why do you want to sit? Because you're not confident of who you are. You're afraid that they might ask questions or they might point at you. Or, even if you don't know it, you're there to learn to. Nobody knows it all. Even the facilitators, they don't know everything. From the answers you give, they even learn. So don't place another person above you of what they know. You know what you know. There are things you know. You watching, there are things you know that I don't know, that she doesn't know. So so operate on that pedestrian, so that when you find yourself in conferences, in seminars, and in church programs, you don't go to the back to sit. Remember, you're the head and you're not the tail. So sit at the front, face it head on. That's the way? Thank you.
Yes. Thank you once again, Constance. I am so glad to have you on Growth Habits today. And thank you, everyone that joined us this afternoon. But our time is actually up. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm sure you gained something. I'm sure there is one point that stuck with you. So that's the good thing about people sharing their stories. Something will always stick. Something from their story, something from their journey will always stick with you. Take it down, take note of it, and begin to walk around that point. Remember, she said it's not enough to just be curious. Do something. Do something about it. Get out. Do something about it. Thank you all once again for joining me here on Growth Habits with Ngozi. Remember, we're here every Tuesday, 12 noon.
Thank
we are
you,
here live,
Nneka.
and also Yeah. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. Neka said
Next.
thank you. Yes. Thank you so much, everyone. All
Thank
the
you.
people that joined, Neka, Olivia, I saw Josephine, I saw Tare Tochi, Favor Chibu. Thank you all. Eunice Chinwe, thank you all so much for joining us this afternoon. There's one other person that I was surprised. Tobin, yes, Tobin, God's power. Thank you all so much for joining this afternoon. Remember to follow us on all our social media handles: Growth Habits with Ngozi, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube is the same name, Growth Habits with Ngozi. Thank you, and remember, yes, I always say this: make each day count. Let
Counts.
no day go by that you don't make count. Make every day count. Be valuable and grow. See you all next week, Tuesday, when I bring another guest that will share their journey of growth on growth habits. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
All right. Bye.
Bye.